I've never trusted the dollar. I started off as a silver guy, then gold, and now I have Bitcoin. But I just don't trust my government. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make a difference if Trump was in or Biden was in. We're still getting screwed. And what's happening to, in my opinion, the income inequality is very simply that you have one thing going on is technology. Technology is wiping out jobs all over the place. And it's going to increase artificial intelligence and all that. Like my friends who are accountants and lawyers and doctors, they say pretty soon we don't need as many of us because the blockchain can handle a lot of that. So this idea of job security for life and you can stay with a company forever is kind of obsolete thinking. And then the second problem, so one is artificial, one is technology, but second is corruption of the US dollar. And they just keep, instead of solving the problem, they just keep printing more of it, so the debt just keeps going up. But it makes it harder and harder for the guy literally in the street today to survive, because they don't have the job skills, they don't have the skills and all this to earn the income that'll get them off the streets. And so it's more than systemic. This is global transformation right in front of us. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think especially with the stimulus plans, there's, we didn't actually expect from a valuation model, how do you value Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies? We didn't expect the pandemic to create, even a third stimulus coming, right? So what's happening is there's so much money being printed that there's a lot of excess money as well. And that excess money does go back to the stock market. It does go back to other investments here. So what we're seeing now is like with low interest rates, you see like the stock market at all-time highs. You see cryptocurrencies at all-time highs. You see real estate like the fastest buying growth in 6 years, right? So what's happening with crypto is like there's nowhere else to invest money right now. But within subsets of crypto, there are ecosystems that are still I wouldn't say undervalued, I'd say like superheated, but there's still yield coming from these ecosystems that are being built on cryptocurrencies right now. And that's what like kind of our research and our kind of predictions are heading towards in the cryptocurrency area.
Right. So the reason we would like to have you back is because all of Rich Dad Radio, because a lot of guys on our program are real estate guys or entrepreneurs and all this. But the question is, where do you put your money? I started off years ago saying cash is trash, and it's becoming trash. The more that artificial intelligence and technology makes things more efficient, prices should keep coming down, but the Fed keeps pumping it up. And so we have the guys in the middle, the people that, lesson number one in Rich Dad Poor Dad is rich don't work for money. The moment you do that, you're screwed. So it's coming true right now. It really deeply concerns me, especially now that I'm going, oh my God, what I was saying 25 years ago is coming true today. And so that's why people have got to understand what goes on in your head, because that's the future now. The future of money lies in my opinion, crypto or Bitcoin and blockchain. So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, so we can talk for hours on this, so I'll try to summarize it as much as I can. Let's start with Bitcoin. Just a quick summary to like first-time listeners, Bitcoin is a decentralized ledger. You can think of like an Excel sheet that nobody actually owns, but everybody that has like a cell, you can control the money coming out only, and you can receive money. What's also interesting about Bitcoin is it's like very, not fixed supply, very, very deflationary though. As more Bitcoins are minted, it gets less and less inflation. And I think it stops around 21 million Bitcoin. And it's not pegged against anything, right? You can say Bitcoin today is $37,000, but it's not really, it doesn't matter. Like Bitcoin is itself. It's not pegged to any world currency. And as a result, if you have like US dollar getting printed as like crazy, Bitcoin actually is inversely correlated. So basically as a dollar value goes down, Bitcoin actually goes up. And what we're seeing right now is like hundreds of billions of dollars being acquired by financial institutions. Grayscale being a very prominent one. They own $20 billion of Bitcoin right now. A lot of other funds are buying in the $100 million increments. But what's happening is there's like not much supply left of Bitcoin actually. And it's causing like an overcorrection of the kind of hedge against the dollar thesis. I think everyone agrees that it is a hedge against the dollar, but at some point it might be overcorrecting it. And then as the vaccines roll out and the dollar gets stronger, that thesis is going to get turned around, right? So that's at least my view on Bitcoin. And again, like if we have a third stimulus, we probably haven't even seen the top yet. Third stimulus would again further devalue the dollar and further give Bitcoin that hedge up. So like even the $50,000 range that you predicted a while ago, which I thought was a little bit high, even the $50,000 range of Bitcoin is like not out of the question at all right now. Yeah.
And the reason I'm not judging Bitcoin, I'm judging the stupidity of our government. And and being a real estate guy, when I look at how much debt is going to default, and the question is, when all those office buildings around San Francisco can't pay their rent, who's going to bail them out? That's why I put my 50,000 bet. It was a bet against the economy. It wasn't a bet on Bitcoin. And I'm betting they're going to print. I mean, if they don't print, we're screwed anyway. So
yep.
That's kind of my philosophy. It's not a very